Welcome to 5 o'clock Tea Talks, everyone. I'm your host, Seda Tekeci, editor-in-chief of Coach Magazine Global, life coach, and passionate advocate for personal and professional growth. Over the years, I've had the privilege of connecting with some of the most inspiring thought leaders, pioneers, and visionaries in the coaching world, bringing their stories and insights to you. Today, I'm thrilled to guide you through another enlightening session where we'll delve into the ideas, experiences, and wisdom that shape our industry. So grab your tea, sit back, and let's dive into today's conversation. Our webinar series, 5 O'Clock Tea Talk, has reached its 29th episode, and we are thrilled to welcome our guest today, Vedat Erol. Let me introduce him first. He is a leader and coach trainer, ICF Master Coach, Master Certified Coach, ACPC, founder, director at PosiQuest Global Coaching Institute, managing partner and leader at Adler Europe Coaching School, ORSC Team Coach, co-author of 5 books. Vedat Erol is a passionate leader, mentor, and lifelong learner dedicated to shaping the future of coaching. He goes beyond coaching and coach training. He trains the trainers who develop the next generation of coaches. With a deep expertise in human resources management and leadership, he works globally, coaching and mentoring C-level executives, leaders, teams, and coach trainers. Based between Istanbul, Bodrum, Washington, D.C., and Miami, Vedat designs and delivers impactful leadership programs such as Agile Leadership, Humocratic Leadership, and Humanocracy. His latest book, The Leadership Journey, explores the path to becoming a globally visionary and wise leader. Welcome, dear Vedat Erol. How are you today?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Dealing with the cold weather, but quite good. How
You're
about you?
joining from Washington, D.C. today, right?
Yes, today I'm in Washington, D.C.
Yes, it's morning for you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Before we
That's right.
start with the questions, as always, I would like to encourage our audience to hit the subscribe button on our channel for more insightful sessions. Don't miss out on the enlightening 5 o'clock tea talks. Hit the notification bell and remember to subscribe. For more great content, visit www.thecoachmagazine.com and enjoy our quarterly magazines, which is our 10th issue out right now. And also, it would be helpful to make comments below, like and share this video with your friends. So let's delve into this enlightening conversation with my first question. Yes, dear Mr. Errol, you go beyond coaching and coach training by developing coach educators. What makes this level of training unique, and what are the biggest challenges in preparing those who train future coaches?
Thank you. Thank you for the question and for your invitation too. I am very much honored to be here together with you. Uh, what makes it unique? Two things have shifted after COVID. And after COVID, the world is not the same. And we can call everything old before COVID and new after COVID because it is a beginning. It's a new birth for the whole world. Everything is changing. That's why we call it old school versus new school of thought, philosophy of technology. Everything is changing. And that's why, in fact, coaching is also changing and shifting. And corporates shift, the mindsets shift, and business styles, management and leadership models, everything is shifting to and trying to adapt to new age, new form of working, new forms of patterns of thinking. And in there was agility, and now there is humanocracy. Agile leadership has been the courses that I've been giving for years, and it is developing too. And after pandemic, now we are talking about humanocracy. And what do I do differently is to call these creative leaders into virtual classrooms, not only to learn. to coach, but to learn how to become coach trainers. And it is also new way of thinking, new way of working. That is I think it is the thing that it makes it unique. Yeah.
Yes. So you work with C-level executives and teams globally. What are the key leadership challenges you observe today, and how can coaching help leaders navigate these complexities?
Yeah. So that there are lots of challenges. And most of the time, I work a lot of global companies, C-level people, and they have a lot of challenges, very new for them. But for me, the first thing as a master coach, the first thing, leader coach, self-limiting beliefs. That's what I mean. They have high potential, but they limit themselves with the old way of thinking, old patterns of thinking, old patterns of leadership, and diminishing beliefs. And they still think that competing can handle a lot of things if they are in front of the others. But the age is not the same. The technology, the way of working is not the same. So we change all the challenges into new growth areas and new paradigms, and we shift the minds. We shift the minds by coaching, playing, placing yourself, in fact, earning your spot in this new world is getting more and more important. And they always try to claim their power, the power in themselves, and they claim the, the new way of working. And most of the time, new generations are coming and in the corporates with quite different paradigms. And that is another challenge. And mobility is very high all around the world. People are all around the world. Now, for now, you are in London, I am in Washington, D.C., but I work sometimes with Germany, sometimes with England, and I have meetings in the United States. All around the world, mobility is so high, and technology is helping us and helping leaders. But it also brings the challenges together. And diversity and inclusion is getting more and more important than ever. Talent management and retention is getting more and more difficult. And these are all very big challenges. And leaders try to struggle with these challenges with the old mindset. That makes it very difficult because they need to shift their minds and the patterns of working. And when everything is changing with the high technology and still trying to keep the old patterns of thinking and old patterns of working, that makes it challenge. But when we have coaching sessions, when they are aware of the new world and new patterns of thinking, they outperform their potential of leadership. That is the most important thing, and I think there are lots of challenges at the moment, but most of them are based on the limiting beliefs and diminishing beliefs.
Yes. When you said limiting beliefs, it reminded me the book of Marshall Goldsmith, What
Yes.
Get You Here Won't Get You There, in talking about
Yeah.
20 bad habits of men executives who come there with these habits, be successful, but they cannot go further beyond this success, beyond these levels with those stuck limiting beliefs. And then they decided to write another book with Sally Helgeson about women's bad habits, and therefore there were 12 bad habits for women to limit themselves. So I'm also making a workshop about this limiting beliefs for women. It's very important.
Yes. Yeah, it is really very, very important to be aware of. the limiting beliefs. And most of them are diminishing their high potential just because they believe that they cannot do, they don't do it.
And they don't know it, they don't realize it if you
Yes,
don't point it out from a new
yes,
perspective. That's
yeah,
very important to have a coach in order to understand this
yeah,
kind of blind spots in ourselves, right?
yeah, yeah, that is right. Uh, so big challenges, but coaching helps.
Yes. With your expertise in HR management and leadership, how do you see the shift? You talked about it in the first question about this, but from traditional management to more human centered leadership models like Agile Leadership, Humocratic Leadership. Please elaborate on this Humocratic and Humanocracy a little bit more for us.
Yeah. Uh, in fact, everything started before pandemic, but after pandemic, it got faster and faster because agility has always been important. But agility was the first step for the leaders, for the organizations to change the way of working, the patterns of work. And organizational change is very high now. And the main point is the pyramid management system is shifting to circular systems. In the pyramid system, there are some people, C-level people, high over there, and all the communication is going from up to down, waterfall, life waterfall. Everybody is very busy, but the people up on there are the ones who create the agendas and push the whole management from up to down. And the agendas, that's what I always ask to leaders. And I ask them, right, what is the percentage of your agenda coming from up or down? If it is 80% of your agenda is filled by the superior managers, you are not agile. If 80% of your agenda is occupied, filled by the subordinates, the people you lead, then you are at the right place. From the agility now to circular systems, people decide to set their agendas with their expertise, with their uh, potential to performance, everything. They want to decide their agenda and they want to reach those targets of the corporation, but not with the imposed way of working. And the main change, I can say that pyramid systems are changing to circular systems and titles lose importance. And I work in some global companies and they say that, I'm so sorry that I heard someone told that he's a vice president. And it is a kind of, people are amazed that why did he tell that he was vice president? That, it is a title. Yes, you keep that title, but you are in a team. Don't try to manage us. Uh, let's co-create. And titles lose importance and co-creation, collaboration is expected. That is the main shift and claiming self authority and impact instead of authority coming from upside down. People want to work freely and exceed the expectations of the corporation. Coaches are meeting the issues of leaders stuck between the change and also old patterns and new patterns. So they need sometimes coaching, sometimes leadership coaching, sometimes trainings. So the world is changing, but it's not easy, or it may be painful if the coaching doesn't serve in such cases. when everything is changing and you have old patterns and still trying to manage, still trying to impose what you want, right? But the generation is not there, and they have more impactful and they have more impactful results. But C-level people sometimes they block their potential and performance.
Yes.
These are the changes.
As Heraclitus said ages ago, the only thing doesn't change is the change itself, and also the resistance to change we may add. So the
Yeah.
old generation has a difficulty adapting to these leadership models, but new generation demand this, and they don't want a boss, they want a leader, and they don't
Yeah.
want the leader to be the boss. Like they just want to
Yes.
be creating in the same environment.
Yes, Seda, that is right. The leader they expect, right? Monday morning, have a meeting and ask them, what can I do this week for you, right?
Yeah.
Instead of that's what we call serving leader. You
Yeah.
are there to serve, not to impose what you think. That is why what is changing in humanocracy and HR management, the titles started to change. For example, when you say CEO in C level, it's not something good now, right? It's not nice because they say that chief executive officer, you don't have anybody else to execute. Is it you execute, right? That's why they change it now to CIO, which means that is a part of humanocracy, which means chief inspiring officer. Inspire the others about your imagination, about your vision, about the vision of the corporate. Inspire them. That is why in some organization, global companies, they changed CEO to CPO, Chief Purpose Officer. So tell them where we are going. What is the purpose of the organization? What is your purpose? And let's co-create, let's collaborate, right? With confidence and trust our capability. That is what the people in the organization say. But C-level people, if they have old patterns, right? If they cannot shift their leadership style, and there are lots of challenges, conflicts, and competition in the organization.
This is becoming an educational tea talk for the C levels. I hope they will watch this video and understand better.
Yeah, I believe they are reading a lot and they are trying. They know about it, but knowing it doesn't mean that you can handle it, you can do it. So they know about it, and through coaching, they get awareness, they change their patterns, ways, they shift their mindsets, and then they become CPO, CIO instead of CEO, right? There
Yes.
are lots of people in the organizations that they can execute. It's not
Mhm.
your job to execute, right?
Yes. Yes. This is a
That is,
new information for me. Thank you so much for that.
yeah, that is humanocracy, and not the titles, but confidence, trust that people have that potential and they are trying to perform their potential.
Yes. So this brings me to my next question. Your latest book, The Leadership Journey, focuses on becoming a globally visionary leader. What are the essential qualities of such leader and how can one cultivate them?
Globally visionary leader is that's what I call is a sixth level of leadership. And the basic thing is the time span of the of your vision. Everybody has got visions. Everybody has got goals. But what is the time span of your goal? Some people have a time span of 50 years. They see the whole sector, the whole countries, and in 50 years it's gonna be like this, so let's do it. Now start from here and try to be somewhere else in 50 years. And some people say that I cannot see what's gonna be in 6 months, right? Time span, if the time span is 6 months or 2 years, 5 years, or 50 years, try to, that's what I always try to train the leaders also in the leadership programs, that globally visionary leaders can understand the interwoven, interrelated system in the world. If you cannot say that China has done this, and it's nothing about us and or our sector or our company. It's about China. If it happens in China, then the other day in London you will feel it,
Mm.
and it maybe in that evening the United States will feel it, and the economy, everything is interrelated. So it is like a global village and interrelated, interwoven systems. And leaders have to see whatever happens wherever in the world will have an impact on our job, on our people, and about our future. So, a leader should have dreams and who should transform the vision, dreams to vision, and creates a new reality of the world with the high level of imagination. If you, whatever you have imagination in your mind, have the potential to be the truth of the other people also, the reality. We create the reality. And leaders should have very long time span and also high level of imagination. So that is the most important part, I believe, the most important quality of the leaders in the current years. That's what we work for.
Yeah. Well, when you say 50 years of vision, that makes me a little bit scared. I'm not even, 45 years old yet, and I cannot think of that. And in like this, in ever fast changing world, as you said, one thing happens in China, impacts the same day in London, and then the same evening in the United States. How can one person vision the 50 later years?
Opinion leaders. So there are some opinion leaders all around the world, and they think, they imagine the future, and they
Futurist.
prepare the technologies. So we cannot think of or we cannot guess of everything, but expertise. You have one area you're working on and focus on it and try to create the future reality, and think you create a technology and it's going to end in 1 year, why should we invest it? But if you
Mm,
create a technology that will continue for 20 years, if you imagine it, then you will be the leader of the future.
mm,
So if the person, if the leader it has got short time span, then it will be a short time results, and you will be following the daily work. And if your leader is also working with dealing with the daily things, who is going to create the future? So,
mm,
chief inspiring officers, opinion leaders, they focus on the first their expertise, their area, and how it is going to be in 5 years, 10 years, right? AI is coming.
mm,
So now it's a part of our life, but it didn't come in one day. Some
mm.
people had that imagination, and now we have it in our lives. And
Yes.
some people know how it's gonna be. in 20 years, 50 years, right? They imagine. So
Yes.
imagination expands the way we think. We call it high dream. Sometimes in team coachings, we do let's high dream then, right? What's going to happen this year, next 5 years, 10 years? They co-create the future, and then they get excited. But sometimes we do, okay, let's do low dream now. If it doesn't happen, so what are your alternatives? And these are all team coaching and one-to-one coaching sessions, high dream, low dreams. But the plans are based on realistic optimism. What are we going to do this year, next year, in 5 years? They are all realistic and optimist. But before that, we should expand high dream, expand the mind, and with low dream, and then you can create realistic optimist choices.
Yes. Since we are child, we are watching these flying cars in the movies, and there
Yes,
are not still flying cars yet. That's probably why I'm disappointed and can't
yeah,
understand this 50 years vision.
yes. You see, Seda, this is why old world, that's what, the pandemic period, old world, before that, is no longer cutting it. Old world is old world anymore. So we should accept it.
Mhm.
Say that, okay, there are lots of things. Old school leaders sometimes have difficulty in understanding it. And they think that, yeah, everything, HR, everything will go the same way. They think that, okay, we will have employees and we will have managers, we will have some other managers to manage them and leaders. And they think that employee will go up and become a leader. No, it's not the same. It doesn't work. We should understand it because people, most of they can go and talk to the university students, right? They don't want to be in corporate life just because of that. And they want something, an alternative way of going high, not in the organization, but become a leader, become an expert. They really focus on their impact and results. That's why they want to go to startups, new way of working, new technology. Why shouldn't the other old school or big companies give them the same opportunity in the organizations? And there are some global companies doing it, and I am really very much excited in being in those people. They say that they are not in the organization. In fact, they are in the organization, but not in the career path, like they are going to be the managers. Imagine that you have an expert. An expert, what does the expert needs? To focus, to learn, to deepen, and try to understand. And sometimes they say, okay, this expert is really very valuable for our company. So we should promote him or her and make him manager. Then after become a manager, you have a manager that doesn't want to be manager, and you lose that expertise, and you have a manager. Manager cannot concentrate. Manager has a lot of meetings, right? So experts should have another
Type.
career path,
Yeah.
another way of working. And there are lots of people want to work and to be in the organization, but not in the old path of career.
Yes, and also the working hours changed. It's remote
Yes,
sometimes all in the office or hybrid. And as you said, the people from different countries working online with different countries at the same time doesn't have to go physically into the offices anymore.
yes,
Everything's
yeah, that's
changing.
right. That is right.
So my next question, as someone who has designed numerous coaching and leadership programs, what do you think the future of coach education looks like? How is AI or digital transformation influencing the industry?
And there, in coaching schools also, there are old schools, old leadership styles, and also new way. And that's why I like, as a director of coaching education, PosiQuest Global. Because high technology, new generation way of working, AI, and self-employed professionals, and it's a different way of working. And imagine for the future, an EU citizen, an American young woman, wants to go to India, and while she is traveling in India, she can coach and meet the expenses of the travel. So free. Everybody wants to travel, and coaching is changing. Self-employed. You can coach all around the world if you are really a global coach. And what is important, the coaches also need trainings, and we need coach trainers, a lot of coach trainers to train them in the new way of working. Technology helps us accept it and go wherever you like and coach wherever you like. That's a new way of thinking, and new coach trainers. Yeah, that's why I always say, you want to be coach? It's okay. You want to be a coach trainer? Then just contact me.
Okay, I will call you.
Yeah,
So my
because
last
I
question.
yeah.
With decades of experience and multiple books co-authored, what is the most valuable lesson you learned on your journey as a coach, mentor, and leader?
Yeah, wisdom and ancient wisdom, right, should be considered more because it is possible to blend ancient wisdom into the fabric of modern psychology, management, and leadership, shaping a timeless path of mastery. I mean, people ignore ancient wisdom, but modern science and modern psychology based on ancient wisdom works with high technology. So co-creation, collaboration versus competition, that is what I learned. And confidence for strengths on the way to capability. That is what I believe. Claiming self-impact instead of giving authority. That is the age now.
Thank you so much. This is very valuable. And I would like to ask if there's any one last message that you would like to give our audience.
Everything is changing. Just have some coaching and find some coaches and try to adapt yourself and don't betray your potential over there, waiting to come into world to be a reality.
Yes.
So coaching works, still works, and with high technology, it will be more impactful. These are my words.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time and for your answers,
Thank
so
you.
your insightful information that you share with us. Before we end this session, as always, I would like to encourage our audience to hit the subscribe button on our channel for more insightful sessions like this. Don't miss out on this enlightening 5 o'clock tea talks. Hit the notification bell and remember to subscribe for our more content. Visit www.thecoachmagazine.com and enjoy our quarterly magazines. And also, it will be helpful to make comments below and like and share this video with your friends. And if someone would like to reach out to you, what is your website? Would you like to give your connection details? Mr. Vedat Erol.
Yes.
And
Thank
your website is vedaterol.com, right?
Yes, that is right. And vedat@vedaterol.com is my mail. So I
Yes.
am really very much honored to be here together with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You can also reach our Coach Magazine Global LinkedIn and Instagram accounts, and you can reach also Vedat Erol from Instagram and LinkedIn. And thank you so much for watching us.
Thank you.
Have a lovely day.